And they refused. They just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah, true. But let me ask you a question. Who ended up winning the fight between the Greeks and the Persians?
The Greeks did.
Actually, the Persians won the first time. The Persians won. But then
because the Greeks lived, the Persians won. Got it.
Yeah. But see, but the Greeks ended up trying to make another attack because what they did is that they ended up sending one of their lone warriors back to the house, like in retreat, to go train for 10,000 instead of 300 because they first approached the Persians with 300.
Yeah.
Amongst the masses.
And that's how they came out alive.
That's actually how they died. Yeah, they died through that. They died trying to go and infiltrate.
All right, so they died. And then the second time, how did they live?
They had more people.
But see, that flies in the face of the way Genghis Khan fought. Genghis Khan and Alexander the Great Alexander, they fought from the 300 as well. They fought from a position of minority.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think about
inferiority?
Okay, what do you think about guys like Bruce Lee? Because I think Bruce Lee played an important part as far as not the Ming Dynasty, but the Asian civilization, as far as people being able to release restrictions, because before Bruce Lee, China was on lockdown basically.
Yeah. Bruce Lee,
and this guy was philosophical.
Yes, he was. He wrote his book. He wrote that book, The Tao. And that book still is in circulation underground, and it's a great underground book. Very intelligent man. Bruce Lee, but I see the same pattern. There's this guy who used to be here. He's in Washington now, by the name of Rick. What's Rick's last name? Rick. We always call him Rick. Rick. Anyway, he worked with the Japanese on a book to change Shotokan from a non-sport to a sport through the 1-inch punch. And what happened is they allow you to clash and you strike one time. Well, Shotokan, one time strike is a death strike. They can kill you with one blow. But he modified it so that you can go into competition.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think that one person can die from one blow?
Yeah, one person can die from one blow. Oh no. The way it works is Shotokan, when they work out, they're actually fighting, and they fight to the death, and there's no bloodshed, none. Now, there are many levels and types of Japanese martial arts. Some of them believe in bloodshed, some of them don't. Some of them believe in taking off appendages.
The Asians, see. Okay, so let me ask you something about martial arts, right? Does martial arts technically derive from Asia?
It technically derived martial arts. No, it's African. It technically derived from Africa.
Oh, it technically derives from Africa. Mm-hmm. That's what's up too, though.
Yeah, it is. But it was the African slaves who developed the technique of fighting without being seen. And that's the principle behind stealth. That's the principle behind Shotokan.
But stealth, okay, so I don't mean to take nothing away from the practices of martial arts, but see, stealth is technically an American word, so that's technically watering down the practice of martial arts through like through American translation. Mm-hmm. So going back to martial arts, because a lot of people think that martial arts actually derives from Asia. Because if you go talk to people like Bruce Lee, I guarantee you martial arts came from China. You know what I'm saying? But they technically have to give back to
African, which Chinese are a lot about the history of the world in terms of people, but ethnic-wise, the slaves were always the Gentile, and it was a white slave or a yellow slave, Gentile, who took over the brown Chinese Mongol.
Yeah,
and she did it to her husband, and created the first dynasty, the Forbidden City. But all people originally are dark-skinned people. So what happened was the slaves from China took over China.
Okay, so can I ask you another question? Where do you think the Native Americans came from?
Native Americans? The red man?
Yeah, the red man. Yeah, they call them. See, according to some sources, they call them red devils.
Yeah. Well, all he did was hunt fish on the land, but he was Mongol too. They really believed in proving your manhood through feats of death. And then they warred against one another, just like the Mongols. There's not that much difference. The only difference is the level of intensity. The higher the heat, the more the intensity in the rivalry. I mean, Africans have rivalry. One died, boom, it's settled. King David went and fought Goliath, boom, it's over. But when you start going up,
because I'm gonna tell you something that I studied, that Asians actually keep hold to the peace. So technically, how they present peaceful people, but yet they reside with combative nature.
Sure do. Among themselves.
Yeah, not necessarily among themselves, like just period as well too though. So technically, because you said something that really made sense to me. Martial arts come from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to go to Asia and say, hey, I'm gonna give Asia their respect by saying the only way that you can practice, because some people believe this, that the only way you can practice martial arts is technically go through Asian philosophy.
Well, it's there, it's documented, it's something that you can grab hold of. But ours is there, and it's somewhat documented, but it's done through storytelling. It's done through the story. Hey, come here, boom, you're my slave. Hey, you come here too, boom, you're my slave. Now what the brown man would do, the Indian, he would kill them to perfect his form of martial arts. But, in Africa, the only people who practiced martial arts were slaves. That's how they just resolved their disputes while they worked every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't let the slave owner know that. That's the original martial art.
Yeah. Okay.
But then it became something that the slave owner drew his attention to. And when he got to the brown man, boom, he killed all his slaves just to perfect his own form of martial art.
Okay, let me ask you something about slavery. Okay, where did slavery originally reside from?
Africa. Yeah, Africa. And it was brought here to America too through Africans bringing slavery. And we are the trendsetters.
Yeah. I heard that.
Y'all right now, I'll give you an example. My ex-wife. Remember Ronald Reagan, right? It might have been before you were born. There was an assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan's life. I was in the military at the time. I was in the Air Force. I was flying over the international date line. Now, when you go over the international date line, technically, you can land, the wheels of the plane can land on the ground before it even took off. So I'll be explaining. What's today? Today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In the Philippines, it's Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the morning. So when you cross the international date line, boom, you lose 24 hours. Consequently, when you come back, you still skip 24 hours coming back across the international date line.
Okay.
On the day that they tried to shoot me, I was coming back to the States, so we were skipping the international date line. Lockdown kind of in the United States, the traffic.
It's like with the punch, yeah.
So we had to go to Alaska and wait there for permission to come back in. Everybody on that plane lost an hour of their life with nobody knowing who they are, where they are. There's no accounting for that hour of their explanation. None. Because everybody was focusing on the president. So my ex-wife took our papers on. Ronald Reagan signed, making me her slave. Just to keep an eye on her. They went through all my school records and everything. And they stated that Jeff, which is my name, is an independent thinker.
Oh, Jeff, yeah. Jeff's my name too, though. I heard that, though.
Yeah. So now she has to give an account to the government of every minute of my life, and she go around.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
A serious question. Some people, some people believe that there's only room for one name, Asia.
Only room for one name.
Yeah, like basically, have you ever seen the one
Yeah.
where they believe that there's only room for presence for one, like for one in particular.
There can only be one.
I don't necessarily reside with it. I believe that people have room for branch. Like, see, if I have a son, his name is Jeffrey, or Jeffrey Jr. or Jeffrey the Third, or however. But see, that's American as well too, though. But they believe in different branches. But if you go back to Asia, where people think that everything derives from, technically, they believe that there's only room for just one.
Well, that goes back to Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee being the one, he became the prime target because he was sharing his version of martial arts with too many rivals, and it would be difficult to narrow them down to one. Who was so they assassinated him. They made an attempt. They gave him a warning to broke his back, and when he didn't adhere to it, they poisoned him. And they also poisoned Rick too, to cause brain aneurysms.
Yeah.
They got ways of going around that too. Just we didn't survive long enough to come up with a way to heal from brain aneurysm. Rick fortunately did, and he's still with us. Ricky Montgomery.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in this book helped produce this called Shotokan. And in it, the one step punch. And he believed in Bruce Lee's philosophy in the Tao and everything that punch. But yeah, you can kill a person with one blow.
Yeah.
And the technique is simple. So that's right here. Now, the simplest way to explain is meal kick. Meal kick to the solar plex. Now, more technical is not the soul out of the person, not the soul out of the individual, just don't allow the soul to come out. They did that in the movie Doctor Strange. Just not the soul out. The person collapses out and just don't allow the soul to come back in. And that's done through your spirit entering into the other person's spirit and knocking their spirit out. Minor points is you fight with somebody and then you have to wait 3 days for the demons to fall off you. If they don't fall off, then you take on all the illness that they had. So the winner, how's that work? To the winner goes spoils. You take on all the curses that society had. Kings used to have a big problem with that during the Dark Ages. They would conquer people, and then they would suffer leprosy.
Do you? Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you think about curses? Do you think curses is generational, or you think curses just happens amongst people who necessarily just walk naive lifestyles of past?
Naive lifestyles of past.
Because curse. Because I believe that a curse is technically usage through words, like words curse people instead of necessarily actions, like because in order for me to curse you, I would have to keep you within bond through verbiage. Basically. Okay, so what do you think is more cursed?
I think the wheel is more of a curse than anything else. And the strongest curse comes through Congress, because Congress is nothing but will. They are nothing but will. They are the will of the people. They represent. And if you can give a man the authority invested in him to carry out your will, then he can carry out your curse. And through that, by law, he can conduct war. No one else can do it in the United States except the sure will.
Okay, so okay, let me ask you another question. Where do you think curses come from
Um,
originally?
Originally, can't tell because the world has been rid of curses. The man
I think
and his curse, flying carpets, open sesame, moving stones and stuff, all that was done away with the Great Flood. So man went through a great flood and a book burning so that he would rid himself of curses.
I think okay. Could you repeat that real quick?
Man was had was sent through the great flood and great book burning so he could rid himself of curses.
Okay. Oh yeah. Actually, because I believe that curses actually come derived from Africa because of the religious black practice.
Well, our
Black
ants.
black people being of black color,
Yeah,
but technically, black practices have its negative effects just like any other practice.
yeah. Well, our lineage since the Great Flood is no longer Africa. It's Turkey, which is uh, what is Turkey? It's Persia.
Oh, excuse the camera. I mean, like, it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah. But it's Persian. Our ancestry went back to Africa.
But see, Persians are technically Muslim.
Yeah, yeah, they are. But that's our ancestry since the Great Flood and since the Great Curses and the Great Book Burning. Now, after the Great Book Burning, uh, which was also part of our second moon, we were reintroduced to learning, and this was encompassed by the Greeks.
I believe that learning is something very, very, very appreciated in America, or necessarily not just in America, but just in life in general. The fact is that people denounce learning because of what people actually think that they know.
What they think they know.
See, me, I'm more or less like, I would call myself more or less like a vegetable, more than just like a sponge, because a sponge will soak in anything. A vegetable, you can tell you the only thing a vegetable takes is light and water.
It takes the light and it takes the water. Alright. Well, a
Yeah.
fruit and a vegetable.
Yeah, some dirt, a little bit of dirt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying, some good soil.
Yeah.
Then you
Well-
got, like,
Well, now we're talking about learning and learn. I've been to the school that will saturate your sponge as a means of breaking the wind.
yeah, true that, yeah.
And after your sponge is saturated, then you're allowed true learning. And if you survive that, then vetting is in order.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If you survive the vetting, then you can get a sheepskin.
That's some hot shit.
Yeah. And this school has part of that too.
Yeah, true. But see, the whole thing about the schooling is that technically I could be teaching you something. Like me as a teacher, I could be teaching you something necessarily that I think though, and then I'm paying for it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's been an interesting conversation, but the point of the matter is, on learn, if we take learn for what it's worth and introduce curses, we're going down a very steep road that will lead to nothing but heaven. We've got the best looking planet in heaven for as far as eyes can see.
Yeah, I heard that.
We've only got 2 moons, just 2, in our solar system. And we've got more water than any other planet in our solar system. We are nothing more than a stick of
Man, you a smooth dude, man. This camera's attracted to you, man. It's damn near about to go in your hands, man. I'm like, man, shit, man. Shit, for real, man. Seriously, man. You know what I'm saying? Man, honestly, man, more like a smooth talker, man. Hey, man, you spit that water, man. Honestly, man.
I write it too.
I heard that. Oh, you got any books out?
Yeah, I'm a writer. I got a paper trail.
I heard that.
And yeah, I write on this stuff.
Yeah, actually, through your philosophies, I will have to be in obedience to call you someone as a Greek god called Poseidon.
It's like, we're talking about monotheism. Well, that goes back to
That's word.
word.
Okay, so let me ask you, what exactly is monotheism?
Monotheism is the reintroduction of the bloody concept that we consider to be love. Monotheism is something that represents a people in the form of an entity. Now, without a monarch and entity, you have no people. You just have a void blob of mass. For new people, for every people, there has to be a monotheism. Greeks took their own on it. They tried to derive it from Atlantis, who's went down, and before that, Africans. But every people, as they come into consciousness, have to take on a realm of monotheism. I tried to write one too. I called it Demigod, but it was flawed because I told that everything through antiquities is a lie, and that there really was no what's his name, Socrates, and if there was no Socrates, then every thought thing that was taught about Socrates is a lie.
Actually, I believe in Socrates. I believe that Socrates is what keeps the order, the because it may come off as